It seems every time I open the news, all I see is the Canadian real estate market. It's going to crash. It is crashing. Prices are going down to record lows. Sales are terrible. It's the worst market ever. And yet, when I go to work every day and meet with buyers and sellers and look at the sales data, the exact is completely opposite. And it's kind of driving me crazy, actually. And that's why I want to make this video, because I wanted to go over what some of the headlines are saying and then look at some of the data, because it just doesn't line up. So if the real estate market was going to crash, the data sure isn't showing it right now. Hey guys, welcome back to Bald Prairie Real Estate. My name is Matthew Pfeiffer, otherwise known as your favorite bald real estate agent on YouTube. So I ran into this guy the other day and he says to me, "Boy, you should probably get to the gym. You don't look very strong." And I said back to him, "Well, you're flipping tires all day. I go flip houses all day." Okay, so I wanted to make this episode as kind of a quick little update on what things going. And honestly, it probably is going to turn into more of a rant because I've gotten a little frustrated recently. All I keep seeing in the news is how terrible the real estate market is. Everybody's predicting basically that the real estate market's going to crash. The Canadian real estate bubble is popped, however you want to see it. And CMHC, I'm sorry guys, but you are one of the worst offenders of that right now. They started off a couple of weeks ago that the Canadian real estate market was going to crash 18% in the next 12 months. 2 weeks later, they're already walking back that prediction. They seem to be tempering that. Now it's more like 12%. And I had done a video on that right when it came out. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to put that up here, all about CMHC's projection. And now they've come out just in a couple of weeks here. We're going to have new rules that probably are going to put a damper for some people's ability to buy a house. They've got new restrictions in place, new qualification requirements, and that's going to reduce how many deals CMHC can do. But their competitors went, "No, we're happy with where we're at, and we're not going to change our lending requirements." So they didn't. Both Canada Guarantee and Genworth did not follow CMHC's lead. I did a quick video on that as well. I think it's really important to kind of know what a mortgage default insurance is. So I've got a quick little crash course on my CMHC video there, so you can check that one out. I think those are two important videos that give some context to this one. But if you've already seen them, well, keep watching, because I kind of got a little rant I want to go through here. And that is on the headlines and specifically CMHC. So here we go. Let's rant for a little while. Hope you guys enjoy this. This is going to be definitely a more of an informal segment. I throw these in my real estate rumblings kind of videos. They don't have a real structured context to them. It's just me talking about what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling here. So thanks a lot for joining. But what I wanted to go over was kind of what we're seeing in the headlines, and I'll post them here. I'll put them up in a graphic somewhere here, there. I don't know. It'll be up there somewhere. And all we're seeing in the news is basically how bad the real estate market is. And then when I go to work and I meet up with my buyers and my sellers, we're not seeing any of that. So today we're June 24th. I'm ahead of myself here, behind myself in the past, something like that. What I'm seeing though is when I phone up different agents from across the country in all different markets, big and small, they're all seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. And that is that buyers have come back with an absolute vengeance. Right now, the second, third week in June right now where we are, we're seeing that buying levels are basically exactly where they were in June of 2019. So all those declines in sales that happened in April and May, well, those buyers have all come back. And the sellers, they've started to come back as well. You're now starting to see listings being added to the market because sellers have got more confidence in getting their places sold. And of course, then the headline is, "Oh my God, sellers are back and everything's going to heck because the sellers, the amount of properties in the market have increased 35, 40%. I mean, there's some crazy numbers out there, and it makes it sound like the real estate market is terrible. But we're just not seeing that in the data. We're not seeing this terrible real estate market. Now, I'm going to have an update in a couple of weeks here for our July market update. We are at the end of June here, so I'll have a more detailed breakdown. I'll have all the different cities in Canada covered. And a lot of people have asked for places like Winnipeg and Ottawa. I'm going to try to get some other markets in, so definitely check that out when I've got that. It'll be coming out probably about the 3rd, 4th, 5th of July. I'll have a market update that'll cover all the Canadian cities. If If you want to take a quick look back in terms of where we were to start June, right here, I'll put that up right there so you can check out where things were at. But this is going to be kind of like a quick little update as to what's going on. And you know what? When you look at the markets, you're just not seeing the data of terrible real estate market line up with what's actually going on. So I'll start in my market, Regina, Saskatchewan. At the June 24th in 2019, we had 212 houses sold. June 24th, 2020, that number is 300. We're 30% ahead of where we were in June 2019. This is a substantial number, especially in my market where we've had declining sales for a number of years. Now, 2019 was a year where sales were increasing. After about 5 years of sales decreasing, finally 2019, we saw sales start to pick back up, and it was really good positive signs to the Regina market. Now to show that we are well ahead of where the June 2019 numbers were this year, that's a really positive sign. And I'm talking to people about this and they're saying, well, what the heck is going on? We're not in some crazy seller's market yet. So all my Regina fans, no, we're not there yet. What has happened is people that were thinking about buying in March and April specifically, they put those decisions on hold with all the uncertainty of COVID-19 and what was going on. Now they've come back to the market and they're buying in June of 2020. They've just decided, hey, we've seen what's happened. We're ready to get back into the market. And sellers are starting to feel that confidence as well. For the longest time, the number of listings in Regina had been really hovering around that 1,200 mark. It started to come back up. We're about 1,300. So that still puts us in a situation where we're still a buyer's market in Regina, but we've continued to transition to a seller's market, or should I say a more balanced market. We're not seller's market. We got a ways to go there. But there's some other stats that I quickly wanted to go through here. So let's go look at, for example, Montreal, which has been an absolute hotbed for activity recently, and for a number of years has been one of the hottest markets in Canada. Everybody thinks about Vancouver and Toronto real estate markets. Montreal has been this quiet hotbed in Canada. And yet when I go through here, just some quick stats, what we're seeing here is actually kind of crazy. So the number of sales in June of 2019 for single family homes was 560. Sales in June so far in 2020, 424. So this is one of the hardest hit areas in Canada for COVID-19, where they had the most restrictions put in place, and yet their sales numbers are quickly catching up to 2019, which was a very strong year for them. And I'm seeing the same thing in all different markets. Toronto, how about that? This is a crazy stat that I wanted to go over. I actually was blown away by this stat. And so what this stat tracks is looking at the number of houses that are selling over list price. Obviously, if buyers are willing to spend more than the asking price, that's buyers having confidence in the market. And I'm going to put this chart up. I'll put it here somewhere because I think you need to see it. 44% of all the houses sold in the last 2 weeks in Toronto sold for more than asking price. So almost half the number of houses that were put on the market not only sold, but sold for more than asking price. If you look at that chart, it's a little bit confusing, but what you're seeing here is that that is higher than 2019, 2018, 2017. The only year that it wasn't ahead of is 2016, which was a crazy record year in Toronto, one of the hottest years they've ever had. And you look at it, it's interesting because 2018, 2017, 2019, all those years, you see that March and April are very, very strong, and you start to see in May those sales petering off just a little bit. That's your typical spring market in Toronto. What's happened now? That just got pushed back is what happened. So all those buyers that were thinking of buying in Toronto in April and May pushed their decisions back. Now in June, they're coming back out in an absolute force. So I think you're going to see in 2 weeks when I've got my real estate market update, you're going to see all the major centers in Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Halifax, all those places that are really hotbeds, you're going to see big sales numbers. I'm going to take a guess right now, June 24th is where we're at, that when the July market update video that I have comes out, the numbers that we see for sales in June are going to be very close to what they were in June 2019, which in all those markets was a really strong sales year. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be pretty close. My market in Regina, I fully expect we're going to sell way more houses in June 2020 than we did in June 2019. And that's going to catch us up for much of the year. I bet now we're starting July 1, our sales numbers for 2020 are going to be really, really close to what they were in June 2019, because we've just seen this big resurgence of buyers that have come back. There's a lot of confidence in the market. So I guess really what I wanted to make this video all about was take a deep breath when you see the headlines, look through some of the data, because a lot of these headlines that are out there are designed to make you think that, things are terrible and oh my God, the real estate market's falling apart. It might happen still. That's a possibility. There's a lot of uncertainty with what's going to happen in October, November, December, as mortgage deferrals start to fall off and people have to start paying those mortgages back. But right now, the sales data just doesn't show that we've got this massive crash or buyers don't have confidence in the market, sellers don't have confidence. Both those appear to have some pretty strong confidence in the market. So just be careful on those headlines, guys. That's kind of what I wanted this video about. So there's my rant. If you didn't like the rant video, you've probably already clicked off anyway, so sorry you didn't like it. But if you did like this kind of more informal video, go ahead, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more kind of small updates and just free form, unscripted. I didn't script any of this video. I just put the camera on and hit record and we'll see how this comes out. But that's it, guys. That's my quick little market update, I guess we could call it. We're near the end of June. I'll have a full one in a couple of weeks. Also, I got a great video I think you're going to like here coming out in a couple of days, and that is what I call the 3 phases of buying, what kind of the major steps you have to hit when you're looking at buying a house in Canada. So we're going to go through all that. So if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. Hope you like this video.